Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Essence and organist choirmaster at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. Each day I've selected a composer from somewhere in the world to talk about the music that this person has composed and that has been performed, both with Vocal Essence and Plymouth Church. Today it's the Norwegian composer Knut Nystedt, N-Y-S-T-E-D-T, Nystedt. Born in 1915, passed away in 2014, lived to be 99 years old. He was a composer, a conductor. For a time, he came over to the USA and studied with Aaron Copland. He was a church organist in Oslo for 36 years at the Torshov Church. He conducted a group that he founded, the Norwegian Soloists Choir. He conducted them for 40 years, it's still around. Wonderful, wonderful choir. And he also taught choral conducting at the University of Oslo for 21 years. I first heard his name back, in the 1960s. I was in California, and my mother had said to me, you should go and hear the music at Hollywood Presbyterian Church. She didn't know who was the conductor there, and I certainly didn't, but it was a man named Charles Hirt, H-I-R-T, who was a big figure in choral music back in those days. And what I still remember is going to a service there on a Sunday. So it had a huge kind of balcony up in front for the choir, and the organist is playing something, and all of a sudden these doors opened at the back, and this choir, probably numbering about 80, came in, filled in the first row, the second, and each row. And when they had finished, then in came Dr. Hirt to the front. And they started in a cappella to sing a piece called "Cry Out and Shout, Ye People of God." And I remember just being stunned by this piece and by the way they sang it, of course. And I found out later it was by Knut Nystedt. Here it is, "Cry Out and Shout." Just imagine, 80 singers. That was some way to start a service, I will tell you. "Cry Out and Shout" by Knut Nystedt. Well, the wonderful thing about Nystedt was that he also was known in Minneapolis because the man who for many years was the choirman at Augsburg, now Augsburg University, Leland Satteran, brought Knut Nystedt here. In fact, his son, that is Leland's son, Terry, told me that probably Knut was Leland's most well-known and favorite friend of all time. Nystedt came here several times. His music was performed not only by the Augsburg Choir, but also by the Minnesota Orchestra. And because of what Leland did, Nystedt's music became very well known in the USA. He wrote a piece that has been performed here by the Plymouth Choir called "Praise to God." And it's a rather unusual piece because it also, and it's something I can play a little bit of it, but I can't really give you the effect of what it was, because when it gets to the words, "Let thy praise our tongue employ," he wanted to create a multitude of sounds. So it was the kind of thing where you got, it started on one note and then gradually, and suddenly you had this multitude of all these notes being sung by the choir. And when they all came in, and this is the effect I can't really give you, but if you all were on this notes, and then at once they all went up a half step so that you heard, it was a thrilling, wonderful bit. And later at the piece, the men are singing the melody, but the women are all going just up and down. He said it was to sound like many angels singing. It begins, though, very strong together. Praise to God, immortal praise for the love that crowns our days. And then starts all of the sound. Praise to God by Knut Nystedt. Well, I mentioned earlier that he was also a church organist for many years. So I'd like to close by going to the wonderful 89 rank Holt Camp organ here at Plymouth Church to play a charming wedding march that Knut Nystedt wrote in 1969. Music of Knut Nystedt. Have a wonderful day.